Hello YouTube, it's Tooty. This is mini tales from the Booter. Not a great deal. You had an hour of me anyway earlier, so that's probably enough for you. So it's probably a good job that this is only going to be a mini one, he says. Started to piss it down later on. We were quite lucky in the central regions for a change. We avoided the rain up until this afternoon. I know down south it was fucking tipping it down, so yeah, that time it was the other way around. I've got some quite nice bits, nothing that's going to blow your socks off. Oh, but I will do a video response. I've been doing a video response for fucking ages. Because I tend just to try and keep it to 1 or 2 videos a week. Excuse me, again my hay fever's still giving me jip. Too many ums there. Yeah, try to get to 1 to 2 videos a week. Because this gets too much. And I annoy myself. Right, so the Booter. We'll do the Booter first. It was very slow. Really slow. I mean, considering there wasn't a cloud, wasn't a black cloud in the sky early doors, I was a bit surprised, and it was really slow starting. See my mate James, it's not Wasabi, I don't know why I called him Wasabi. I can't remember his name is now, I'll link him down below anyway. So yeah, James popped up out of the middle of nowhere. And we had a wander, we had a bit of a wander. I caught him slipping a few times. I'll come to them stories in a bit. I'm sure he won't mind me telling him them. And he says it anyway, it wasn't me that was saying it. And it's become quite annoying, quoting Game Chasers at me. And I was like, oh, that's enough now. Shush. It was quite funny though. I've got some quite nice bits. A few things that I've got, they've gone to CX already, because I had mentioned in the last video, I've did a big PlayStation 2 call. So a few of the extra bits that I got today just went into these big sacks. Fired that off. Ended up with about 100 quid odd credit again. Some that's already been spent. CX pissed me off actually. One game that I bought and I was well looking forward to it. I thought I'd fucking bagged about, you know, a real steal. Also had the invoice through. I was like, why have I got another like voucher thing come back, and where's the other game gone? They couldn't source it. Really pissed off. Obviously when to the games come, I'll let you know which game it was, but yeah, really racked off. What else has happened in between them? Yeah, so I've got a couple more today that I need for the Cube collection. Again, nothing special, a couple of filler titles, but weirdly enough they don't crop up that often, and the sports ones you think they're to a penny, but not. Right, the Booter. Oh, pick this up for £1. Was £1, yeah. Chat there with his missus. Early doors, like I say, there weren't many stores, but happened to ask if we got the game. Said yeah. Got some PS2 stuff out, nothing spectacular, and then the only PS1 game he had, and I thought, fucking hell, I've seen that before. It's relatively early release, in the 300s. I swapped the case, because I've got some cases down here, and it is Nanotech Warrior. So this is like, ignore the manky stickers on the case, so I'm going to swap it over anyway. Where is it? So I don't know, it's kind of like a 3-dimensional isometric type. I'm guessing you look like you're flying into screen. I haven't played it. It looks quite funky and quirky. Tetragon by Virgin. No manual though, unfortunately. But you know, as I say, them's the breaks. James very kindly reminded me of that when he kept fucking quoting Game Chasers at me. I grabbed this off a lady. There was some men of Asian descent fucking rattling on. I heard one of them rattling on, sort of said, yeah, blah, 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 PS2. And I looked, seen it, and I thought, and he was trying to call his mate, and fuck that. I was straight in there, said, how much is PS2? She said £8. Got it down to 6, I think it was. Again, like I said, I've got a guy who'll come and take these away. It's just a silver one, quite nice actually. A couple of memory cards, so they'll go into the huge memory card drawer. Got all the hookups, no controllers though. You've seen all that shit. Weirdly enough, though, with that, it was it had like a copied disc in it. And I don't know if it's just an audio disc, so I don't think this has been. I don't think it's been opened. I don't think it's been modded. It'd be nice to have a modded PS2, wouldn't it? Though, you know, for your imports. I don't think it has though. Just a bit dirty, really. I think it's will clean up quite nice. It's not, you know. But anyway, let's by the by. A couple of quid there. I say a few bits I picked up. Sims 3 for 50p. That's gone to CEX. That's a couple of quid. What else did I grabbed a guitar. And I don't usually touch them, but this guy again asked me about any games. He come out with a few. He said Xbox 360. Come out with a guitar. I looked at it. I thought it's not the normal style guitar that you see. I don't know what style that is, but you know what I mean. This was more like a futuristic guitar, and it had a game, and it's basically Legends of Rock. Was it Legends of Rock? Something like something. But Warriors of Rock. I think he wanted a 5. I got him to £3. It's a wireless one. Wireless ones tend to do alright, so my mate Jamie was saying to me, which is what sort of sparked my interest. Yeah, so I fired it in today. CX. £14 credit. No, £18. £14 cash. £18 credit. For £3. I mean, it sells in terms of like hard cash and clear the bank for about £30. But you know what, shipping that thing off, someone's going to say, oh, it don't work right, but I can't bother with all that. Like I say, I'm happy to use the credit, get the games that I'm after. Yeah, saves the hassle, really, to be honest. So there was that you won't see, but I did get it, trust me. Needs be, James can probably vouch for me. What else did I get that you wouldn't see? Oh, DS game with a couple of GBA titles which I've still got here off someone that James knew actually. I pipped him to him. She had a DS Lite but didn't have the charge, and she wanted, I think she was asking £15 for that anyway, with Mario, New Super Mario Bros. So New Super Mario Bros, these two here, she had £3, so she could keep the fucking DS Lite. Mario Bros has gone, that's £10 credit. So a couple of GBA titles. Street Fighter Alpha 3. And Budokai, no, Dragon Ball Z Taketsu. That's quite a good little grab, that is. I said the Retron plays the GBA titles, sweet man, really nice. Says it won't be long. Grabbed these for £1.50. Mario Kart steering wheel and a nunchuck. Nunchucks use a stick for sort of the GameCube controllers that someone always seems to chew the left thumbstick off. No, got that because one of the Mario Karts was missing the wheel. I can't remember which one it is now. It's not that one. Oh, did I mention about this? Remember I said about the box, the bigger box, about the Mario Kart. It's because it's a deeper box. I definitely mentioned that. Look, it's actually a deeper box. Oh, so it's this one that hasn't got the wheel in it. So that's a spot. Dal, if you're watching, do you still want a Mario Kart Wii or not? Let me know. Yeah, and the nunchuck, which I'll dismantle for the thumbstick. The rest, that's it now. I've just got one last sort of grab that I got from on store. Managed to find a GBA charger. There's always a box of wires. Like I've always said to you guys, I always look in the box of wires. So James looked at his box of wires. You know, Game Boy Advance SP charger. He went, fucking, I just looked in there. He goes, that's the second time we got you slipping. And you'll see the first time. Well, you won't see it, but I'll explain it in a minute. 50p. He's into his Game Boy and that, and he's looked after me with Kirby. So I said, oh, I had a £10. I said, have you got any change? He was like, oh no, I haven't, not for £10. I said to James, oh, have you got 50p? He's like, yeah. So give me the 50p, I pay down, and give him the charger. So I said to him, now you owe me, even though I've bought you something with your own money. It's quite funny. So he was quite happy. So the last bit, told you, weren't much doing, although I've done all right in terms of, you know, items that I've utilised elsewhere, ACX and stuff like that. These are quite nice. Again, one of them will definitely be staying. The other one will no doubt be moved on to my Pakistani friend, who will come and collect it. So that'll give you an idea of what that might be, which is a slim PS2, alright condition. A couple of controllers, OG controllers, all the wires, all the hookups. No memory card though. No, but you've all seen them. So this was in a box, cardboard box. I've asked these people earlier, and sometimes I mentioned it before. Some people you ask, they'll be quite polite and say, yeah, I've got something, and they'll go out of the way to get it all. They'll sort of say, no, I haven't got anything, when they really have, because they can't be bothered. You know, and like I sort of mentioned, well, I sort of spoke about it last week where Jason says, so some people will just say that. I said yes or no, and sometimes it works your favour, sometimes it doesn't. Case in point here, I did ask them, they said no, turns out they did. Went back a little bit later, more fortuitously than anything else, and yeah, dropped lucky with the PS2 there, which I think they wanted 10 quid on, £10 for that. So at that point I'm thinking, oh, £10 alright, you know, I can sort of pick that up, take it home, and I can get 15 quid for it, and the guy will come to my door and collect it. So that was a bit of a no-brainer. But in another bag, within this same cardboard box, they had this and some games, but also they had another box on the floor. So I was sort of haggling with a lady for these two PlayStations, and James sort of spotted some in the box next to it and said, oh, can I have a look at your box? And he went, as he went to put his hand in, I sort of seen into the box as well, and I just watched where his hand was going, and it wasn't going to where I was looking. So he picked up like a little plastic sort of bag, not this bag, but like a plastic bag like that. It had like Game Boy manuals and stuff like that in it. But what I saw in the other corner was a Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Colour Pocket, like a turquoisey colour. So I grabbed that, and he grabbed that, and he looked at me, he was like, fucking hell, caught me slipping. And it was quality, absolute quality. So the other item that I was sort of haggling with, so I had the Game Boy and I had this other item, and got to 30 quid and said, oh, you took that in. She was, oh, I wanted a £5 for that anyway. And I think she got all confused, because for the Slim SP, Slim PS2, she wanted 15, and for this one she wanted 20. It's 35 quid. So I got to 30, and then I got to chuck the Game Boy in. So I think she got a bit confused, but I wasn't trying to be dodgy or anything. So for 30 quid, I got Slim PS2, I got turquoise Game Boy Colour Pocket, which I give to James, so we're all squared up now for the Kirby's Air Ride, so that suited me anyway. I did have it in my bag, and he was like, oh, which game was it? It was Pac-Man. And I said, oh, do you need it? He was like, yeah. And he looked at the game, he said to me, how much do you want for the Game Boy? And I thought, I know what he wants. I said, look, don't worry, we'll call it quits. So we're all squared off, and I'm happy anyway. Like I say, I would have just got it to flip or whatever, so it's no skin off my nose. It's gone to a better home. But the item I was really happy to get, and James was a bit like, oh, I don't get it, what is it? I said, but because these are quite hard to find, and now I've got two. Equally, one of the games that come with this is probably worth probably about near enough what I paid for the whole lot anyway. So the thing in question about Suspense, it's not anything groundbreaking, but I think they're really, really cool. is a PS1 with the attachable screen. So Wouter, the Highlander, I know he's been after one of these. So this is the official Sony one, and I must admit they are a lot nicer than the, I can't remember which one it has, which one it is I've got, which is here. Actually, I'll show thee. This does work. So I've tested it. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to swap this one for this one into the bag. So this is the other one that I picked up before. Who's it by? Joytech. So there's a Joytech screen. Now the only good thing about the Joytech one is you can sort of angle that outwards and closer or whatever. But the Sony one just fits a lot nicer, I think. So there's your sort of differences. And that kind of really fits snug. This one isn't too bad. The screen's a lot deeper in terms of its height. It's got a handle, makes it quite nice. But yeah, you can sort of see just the thickness. So well happy with that. So yeah, sorry Wouter, I know you're really interested. I think they're cracking little bits of kit, really do. And again, these ones, they tend to all run off just a single power as well. So the same AC charge, powers both. AV in, so you can actually plug, I'm guessing, other things into it, like a DVD player or something, if you wanted to. And yeah, headphones. So got that. There's a controller, all the hookups, all the power, blah 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 blah. Another actual memory card. Yeah. So for, like I say, money I paid with it, along with the game. So the only ones are really half decent. The case is alright on these though. Theme Hospital, that's quite a good game. Austin Powers Pinball, yeah. Dukes of Hazzard, yeah. Caesar's Palace, yeah. These will just be cased owners. Pool Shack, as long as I get all the stickers off the fucking things. Adidas Power Soccer 2, yeah, I don't think so. Track Field. But the one that I saw, and James didn't even, and to be honest, like I said, he goes, that ain't my thing, he's into his Nintendo's, his Game Boy and stuff like that. Discworld 2. All there, the case is fucked, it's all smashed up and that, but again, there's loads of better cases there. But the disc and everything else is fine, manual, the lot. So yeah, I think that may, I don't know, it's probably that 20 quid game, odd-ish, something like that. So between that and the Slim PS2, I've got that for fuck all, essentially, and, squared up with James, which is important, because I don't like, I don't dislike being, owing or whatever, or being in the favour thing, but it's just nice just to square everyone away, that's all. So yeah, I'm going to put that one into that bag actually, because I think that's what that was designed for. Oh, that's a really nice little bag, that is. So that's it. That's your lot, as they say in your business. A few things to note. There was a guy there loads of people turn up late, and they were getting hammered, man. Boom, boom, literally like fucking swamped. And there's a guy there with his daughter and his missus. And I just, again, that's just asked if you've got the games. Yeah, I've got some Game Boy games. James, his eyes lit up. And he was he's unpacking box by box, and he had like a fucking estate car and a trailer. I think he had a trailer. And it was like, well, we'll come back later. And I kept coming back, me and James did. And it was just like, fucking hell, this guy's going to take forever. And I think his missus turned up or something later on, or was going to turn up later on, with his daughter, which is why they do that. And said, oh, they might have a better idea. She said, oh, I think we packed them. Anyway, after about 15 minutes of to and fro and backs and forwards, it turns out they weren't there. But you got to, and all James kept saying, that's the way game chasing go. Shut up! Shut up! I can stop saying that. It was a fun day, it's a fun morning rather. And that's it. I don't think there's anything else of note. Anything else that I've missed? Did I miss anything? Vita, someone had a Vita, 50 quid. Don't know. Me and James were talking, so I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what, I wouldn't use it. It's probably worth it, I don't know. Is it worth it, 50 quid for a Vita? They had a few games. Those the games come with it. All the adults are going nuts over that. Blue PSP, that's 35 quid though. Again, I've had PSPs, I'm not getting into all that shit. Don't really interest me, don't do anything for me. I think that was about it. Oh, there's an interesting story, and actually, I should say, I'm too many arms there. There was a boxed Super Nintendo, so people like antique dealers, I think they're antiques, like vintage. That's it, not antiques, vintage. Youngish couple actually, probably about my age, yeah, really young. Prime of their life. Yeah, apparently this box Super Nintendo appeared and fucking out, it was like fucking feeding time at the zoo, Shark Frenzy. One of the, I think James said he asked her how much was the box, it was boxed Super Nintendo, Starwing edition, about the game apparently. And James had asked her, she walked away, ignored him, and then another guy that I kind of know that's another sort of reseller trader, Lizardy, whatever. He asked her, she said, oh, 30 quid. I think she said 30 quid, or 35, I can't remember, 30 quid I think. And he was fucking looking at this thing for ever and a day. Ages he was pondering over it, because I mean I could just sort of see it from, I wasn't there, weren't interested. I could sort of see it like a row across, because there's literally like loads of people around it. And all the other chaps that goes to some of the shows, again he's a bit of he's a lizard like we all are, Lewis. So I know that you, well, Jamie told me that you watched, so cheers pal. Him and his missus, I think they just had enough. So the story goes, I don't know, weren't there? She just went up and just said to the guy, I'll give you 35 quid for your SNES, or the woman, and she said yeah, she just took it. Because the other guy was literally like fucking pouring over it, checking all the buttons and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, afterwards, we're sort of seeing the guy, and he sort of said, I didn't really bother. Because the eject button was a bit dodgy. I'm just thinking, fuck, all it probably needs is a clean. You know, them things are, unless they're completely mullered, they're fucking nigh on indestructible. But that was just funny. I would have spent 35 quid on it. I'm pretty sure it's worth it, and then some. But for me, it wouldn't do anything. I think I've got the Starwing edition anyway. So yeah, there's nothing. I don't know, I'm getting a little bit cynical. Little things like that. Although, you know, some people might say, you just spent 30 quid on a load of shitty PlayStation, but I know I can get my money back and then still have that for free. That's what I'm looking at anyway. So that's it. That is it for all the stuff for the booter. I don't think there's any more stories. So it was very slow, wasn't very busy. I think the forecast for the weather put a lot of people off. Yada yada yada, etc etc etc. So yeah, did all right for what was there. You know, the sort of PlayStation bits at the end really sort of sealed the deal for the day for me, essentially. So I'm going to do a video response to a couple of questions from, I'm going to butcher his names now, Rapagar, RPG Gamer. And I think, I don't know where it's come from. I remember seeing Fluffy Gamers done the reply to this. I know that Lucy, Retro Gamer Girl's done a reply, and there's a couple of other people that done replies. So he tagged me, wanted to answer some questions. I don't know where these have come from. What's his name? Something like some Cross or something. I can't remember now. But anyway, I was tagged, so I thought I'll do, you know, I haven't done this for a while, and it'll just tag it onto the end of this, and that should suffice. So 4 questions. What got me into video games, or what got you into video games? Well, fucking, that goes back to the old Atari 2600 for me. Told this story before. Again, I've told this story before, and he still doesn't remember it. But my mate John, when we were kids, his dad had an Atari under the stairs, and I remember it, I really remember it so vividly, but it definitely happened, and he can't remember it. But he pulled his Atari 2600 out from under the stairs, had Space Invaders and a couple of other games, Centipede, stuff like that. And that's really my first exposure to sort of video gaming, as in like home video gaming, not arcade gaming. But yeah, home video gaming. And then from there, because we were like quite into it, I think that's pretty much where his dad went and got him a Spectrum, and then it just all snowballed from there. So yeah, for me, it was the 2600 that really got me hooked into video games, and yeah, been into it ever since. Not as intense as I have been for the last, in terms of collecting, for the last couple of years, but I've always been into gaming, if you like. I mean, I sort of stopped gaming a little bit with the PS2 era. I did have the Dreamcast, but yeah, when the PS2 sort of come out, sort of tailed off a little bit because that completely passed me by. I had the GameCube, obviously I had the GameCube at launch, and the Dreamcast at launch. Question 2. Any tips to help grow your YouTube channel? I'm probably the fucking worst person to ask, and I know everyone's mentioned this. I think, who was it that was on about this? I think it might have been Phil, Fluffy Gamer, or someone like that. They made a very, very valid comment, which this is more geared towards people that are looking to make a living from it or stuff like that. I'm just a fucking old git that just talks about video games and likes to share what I find. You know, although yes, I do monetize my channel. That's purely because I haven't spoken to Glenn Plant a while back now, and he went, well, why wouldn't you? You might as well. If you're going to make, you know, 20 quid or whatever every 6 months, it's 20 quid you can buy a game with. So I was like, well, yeah, I suppose it makes sense. I haven't got any money from it yet, so it's just been fucking months. I don't know what's happened to that. How, you know, any tips to how to grow it? I don't know. Get involved in the community, answer comments. I think that's quite important. A lot of, you know, sort of people like to feel engaged, feel part of the channel they're watching. You know, some of the sort of bigger channels don't reply to anything and stuff like that, and I think they end up being more like a TV show, and I think that's the distinguishing bit. You either have these sort of indie channels like my crap thing here, or you have the bigger sort of EastEnders and stuff like the Game Chasers. I don't know, maybe that's a wrong analogy, but that's kind of how I see it. Whereas, I don't know, could be talking complete bollocks. But yeah, how to grow it, get involved in the community, and if you can, reply to comments, you know, interact with people. Any tips to make a good YouTube video? Don't do what I do. I'm not an editor. I haven't got time to edit stuff. If I really wanted to, not saying I'm a big editor of it, but if I really knuckled down and, you know, invested in time and knowledge and learning, you know, yeah, you probably could do. But from a personal perspective, I think a few people said this: be yourself. If you start putting on an act, start, you know, trying to be something you're not, the mask will slip and you'll look fucking stupid. So just be yourself. If people should like you for who you are, not for what they think you are. Don't know, other than that, get a decent camera, decent lighting. Nothing worse than bad lighting and bad cameras, and a tripod. Get a fucking tripod. I didn't for ages, and it makes a huge difference. It just makes it a little bit, makes it more watchable. Just make it more professional. Just makes it more watchable for the viewers instead of fucking rocking around, you know. So yeah, that'd be my top tips. Tripod, decent camera, preferably a camcorder. I know the iPhones are really, really good for it, but you have all the problems with people message you and all that. I don't know. You always see people saying, "I had to just knock it off." I just think, get yourself a camcorder, tripod, decent camcorder, decent lighting. Be yourself. There you go. What am I doing to further my channel? Absolutely fuck all. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. What I need to do. I don't know. I did sort of think, maybe I should sort of cut down the length of the videos, you know, because the average attention span is, I think that's why they always limited you at start to 15 minutes. It's probably not a bad thing. I don't think most people watch all of my videos all the way through. I'd be absolutely foolish to think anything other. Make no bones about it. I can see the stats. Stats are there. You know, the analytics are there. People don't sit through and watch it all. Doesn't bother me. I like talking to the camera. I like saying what I've got to say. People watch it. They don't. You know. But I did sort of think at one point maybe I should kind of condense it down a little bit. But then there's a few of us that just like to waffle. We like to talk. and then wouldn't me being me then, if that makes sense either. So double-edged sword, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's like the gameplay videos. I don't watch them, so I did a few like you know, initial thoughts, initial reactions, which is only like they were like less than 10 minutes long. Just me sort of playing a game and seeing how it goes. They were all right. Again, no one wants that. I don't know. I think most of them videos, there's people that are best suited to do them type of videos. And that's not being horrible to anybody else, but they're just not my bag. So in terms of what am I going to do to further it, I don't think I'm going to delve into anything other than what I'm currently doing. I'm not going to go to gameplays or reviewing games. You know, that's not my forte. People like Glenn Plant, absolutely brilliant at it. I can watch Glenn all day long reviewing videos. Really, really good at doing it, and that's his strength. He's very, very good at doing that. But yeah, it's not for me, and I don't think, you know, you should be all things to all people. It's not going to happen. And I think you need to, if you're going to get into this, you need to realise that. Find where you're comfortable. Find where you sort of fit, if that's the right word. And yeah, play to your strengths. Not being at school, you know, when you I remember doing GCSEs, the teacher sort of said, going up to do A levels, do what you're good at, do what you enjoy. There's no point, you know, if you want to be a doctor but you're no good at biology, there's no point going to do biology because you'll struggle. You know, if you're good at physics but you don't enjoy doing physics, do physics, because do what you're good at, even though you may not necessarily enjoy it. But anyway, not to say you don't enjoy making videos, but I think I kind of lost the plot a little bit there somewhere. Anyway, go and check out Rah 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 Rah. Sounds like what's his name? That fucking pop singer woman, Lady Gaga. No, Rah Rah Pa Ga. RPG, basically RPG gamer. Great guy. He's as an suggests, into his RPGs. I think I mentioned it before, I'm sure I have. Very knowledgeable though, in terms of, yeah, across all systems, like Game Boy Advance, all kinds of shit like that. Knows them all. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna fuck off now because I've had enough. Take it easy, and I'll speak to you soon, YouTube. Bye bye.